Well, talk about just completely unexpected. So I just went out and bought all of the low tiers that I really like. The Russians, I'm not a big fan of the BTs, but the Americans, I had a lot of fun with those. And then the Germans, yeah, I got all the ones that were back in beta. Uh, British, I can pretty much say I'm good on these. But there was definitely one that I had to get my hands on. The M2 Medium. I had so much fun in that back in the day. Definitely deserves to be kept inside the garage permanently. So anyways, what's your guys' opinion on the low tier retirement? I honestly think it was completely unexpected. I wasn't expecting to get on the day and, you know, I was at work and I looked at my phone and earlier this morning, they popped up with Defender saying, grind 100,000 experience. And I'm like, I got to tell everybody about that, get on that. And then 2 hours later, Discord, or no, Koza put a comment down on my video saying, what's happening to all the low tiers? So I jump back on the website at work and I'm just like, what? Are you kidding me? I mean, I get that, low tiers are lacking a little bit with the player group. There's not a lot of people who want to jump into, like, let's say a tier 2 and play around. And that's primarily because they took out marks. Marks of excellence are on tier 5 and higher. If they would have had marks on lower tier tanks, just to give them, because it's damage pools. Who knows? Tier 3s might have been played more than tier 5s. Or tier 4s would be played a crap load. I know that if there were marks on lower tier tanks, I would definitely get on and grind out my M3 Stuart. I would love to grind out my M3 Stuart and my M2 Medium. So, that's they're basically taking away one of the funnest parts of the game to start off. And it's gonna be a pain. And Devon, yeah, it does kind of suck because, those entry level tanks, they're for fun. They're not really super competitive. I mean, they can be competitive, but they're just fun, and they're taking them away. It's kind of sad. I'm getting ready to get my 7th year mark, and I'm trying to, build a YouTube channel, get everything going, and each time I get on, yeah, I'm aware that he's doing a live stream and he's featuring all this other stuff. I'm probably not gonna watch it, but yeah, clone guy, not exactly good accuracy there, but yeah, I don't know, it's gonna be a pain. And it's gonna suck because it's a lot harder to do a tech tree showcase when all the tanks aren't even there. So William, he's actually teaming up with Vinshaw coming later that day too. And Vinshaw, if Vinshaw gets on a stream, Gambit, that's probably one of the better players in this game. you know, but he doesn't really comment over his videos. He just posts gameplay. Like, he's a really good player. I might be making a mistake, or I'm going to be making a really good decision. Maybe both. Now, Vinshaw, you know, that's one of those people that if I could run into him and pick his brain, because if you ever watch his gameplay, he's not, you know, spamming premium all the time. He's using AP, he's using high explosives, he's using, you know, he's mix matching all of his ammunition. He's never dedicated to just high explosives or, you know, going for full premium loadouts. He's all over the place and extremely respectful. Like, I think that would probably be one of the cooler people to meet in this game, to be honest with you. Alright, that CMC is getting annoying. But low tier retirement, I feel like... Oh, hello artillery. I've been shotgunned. I don't know why. There is honestly no reason to retire them. I think rather than retiring them, they should make them purchasable. Period. Just you can outright buy them, but you don't start with them. You know, let's say like you start with the tier 4. And then all the tier 1s, 2s, and 3s are unlocked, giving you an option to go down a tier and choose a bottom tier just to go and play around, you know, because tier 1 through 3, you know, they're not exactly bad tanks. I mean, they're a beginning stage. It kind of feels at times that you just need to shoot and hit the guy and try to do damage. But overall, it honestly sucks that they're taking them off. It really does. I got on. I was excited for this next season, and now I think it's just gonna ruin the game. But we're gonna have to see how it turns out, because one thing that's gonna be irritating is if they remove the tier 10s. Like, rather than tier 10, they drop them down to like tier 7. If they do that, I don't know if I will continue to play, because that's just ridiculous that, you know, they're taking all these steps. I think I'd just rather, you know, bust my butt at work and buy a computer and go straight to PC and record and play on PC. So, yeah, I kind of don't know where I stand on it. Every single update that they do on console, they tend to do something really stupid. Sometimes they fix things, sometimes they break things. This one that's coming up, I seriously hope they don't break anything. You know, I hope that whenever we log on... You know, since they're removing the lower tiers, the maps that they add back need to be like 10 times better than anything we've ever experienced in this game. And I don't mean like you log on and it's like, ooh, it's new. No, I mean full on. It needs to be like, I get on and I am impressed by the detail, the graphic update. Because with the next consoles that are coming out, graphics, you know, if you're going to be taking away something that big in this game, it's time to bump up the graphics again. The last time they bumped the graphics was 2014. Dude, everyone's nervous right now. You should see the forums, okay? I have never seen the forums this toxic before. Actually, let me just jump on them and I'll just show you guys. But right now I'm in the middle of a match, so it'll have to be till after this. And they've been removing forum postings and all sorts of stuff. So a lot of the forum posts that I saw at the start of the day have been removed. It's kind of like they don't want negative feedback. They just want people to deal with it. Oh, and William, if you've noticed, Clone Guy is playing with CCs. Apparently, he's trying to get his CC spot back. Good luck on that. If he gets it back, I think that Wargaming is a little bit, yeah, I don't know. My phone is blowing up too. I seriously don't know what I'm going to do here. Tier 7. These are 9s. Well, honestly, you know, the CC doesn't mean jack diddly squat at all. There is no meaning to CC. The only thing that a CC is you basically get more treatment for your channel. Well, he is trying to go over to writing. He is trying to expand his channel. But before he leaves, it kind of feels like he's trying to get good again with the CCs. That way, if he ever comes back to World of Tanks, it's like, I don't know why you would do that. Most of your entire channel has been made by World of Tanks. Honestly, if anything, Clone Guy should just go to PC and play on PC. He'd probably end up over, you know, a couple more years with like 100,000 subscribers and, you know, just playing tanks on PC. Don't get me wrong, a writer job would, you know, depending if his books are good, be beneficial. But, you know, like, how many people read books? Who goes out and buys a paperback copy of a book anymore? It's mostly digital nowadays and like audiobooks. So if you really want to get it out there, you'd be better off trying to make his own audiobook. Oh, how did I forget about the Moushin? Another quickie baby. I don't think he would be another quickie baby. He'd be more like a like right below Dez. You know, Quickie Baby actually takes the time out whenever he's going over replays and he doesn't stutter with mentioning tanks. Like you'll watch me, you'll watch Clone Guy, and you know you'll notice us be like the light tank when in fact it was like a T-49 Sheridan, and then you got Quickie Baby, which is just spot on every single name. No hesitation. Smack, smack, smack. Well, apparently I can't high roll. So yeah, I honestly don't know what to expect for next season. I am ready for it though. And, you know, even though they're getting rid of low tiers, no clue. I have absolutely no clue. Oh, look, another artillery. So, could be good, could be bad. Since they're removing, because you got to think, they're removing a lot from the game, because it's tier 1s and tier 2s. There's a lot of people out there who have put a lot of matches inside those tanks. So, they're going to have to be really careful. Oh, here we go. This is... Let's go ahead and bring you guys with me over here. Did I catch it? Think I caught it. Okay. I caught it. That's like my number one concern. Because if they're going to be taking away tier 1 through 3, a good portion of them, what are they going to do with the tiers? Are tier 10s going to drop down to tier 7? Making it to where they're going to be adding more overpowered tanks? I mean, they've already added Andre the Giant. They've already added a lot of others. There's a couple. By the way, I'm not going to be able to see any of your postings. So how would you feel if they nerf 15 plus skill crews? I would be like, whatever. I think that for a couple other things, we'd have to really pay attention to it. Because, honestly, 15 perk crews, if you nerf them down just to 15 perks, there's going to be no difference. And the reason why I say that is because muffled shot, camouflage, a couple other things, it's like all of your primary perks that you need to have a really effective crew is... The 4th equipment slot is such a stupid idea. Yeah, I agree. Along with having 6 equipment slots. That would be dumb. So yeah, forms are so fun. Forms are so fun. Lots of toxic stuff that goes on. So past 24 hours, we'll do that. Update preview information, December 8th. Ooh, here we go. Okay, I don't care about tank cells. What are you doing? Okay, that's pretty funny. I just bought this tank, the KV-122. I've been playing it a little bit. If you guys want, go buy it. It's a POS, but it's so much fun. Oh, I like how this is posted by an administrator. Update preview information, December 8th. Oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, that's nice to know. Thanks. But you're telling us what the sells of the week are, and deals of the week, and personal offers. Oh, why, thank you. Let's go back. Alright, now let's go ahead, jump back into the game, and I will talk about my opinions on crew. And not really much of the crew. Yeah, like World of Warships, where they only have so many tanks. Now, let's take a look here. Let's pull out a tier 10. And let's take my OE5, for instance. Alright, each time you guys catch me playing my OE5 on stream, if I can find it. Oh, tier 7s are active too. Okay. Vertical stabilizers helps with that gun dispersion. So whenever you put vertical stabilizers on, it makes the gun handling better. It reduces aim time because your bloom is not as big. Okay? In return, I sacrifice coated optics. But if I was allowed to run coated optics, I will tell you this. If I was allowed to have 6 equipment slots, because this is something they've been talking about, the only things I would run on my tank would be coated optics, large caliber gun rammer, vertical stabilizers, improved ventilation, and that's 4 out of 6. And right there, I would have a golden setup. No problem. Fire rate, view range, gun handling, along with improved ventilation. Not including putting a large spa liner on, and who knows, maybe even a wet ammo rack, or, you know, we don't have enough equipment in order to, you know, properly utilize it. The only way that we would be able to do that is if we had 4 equipment slots, but rather than 4, so like the way you see the equipment, imagine that spaced out with like an additional 1 slot. And that 1 slot is like a commodity spot where you pay credits every single match to have a slight bonus towards a very specific characteristic in your tank. You know, that would be, in my opinion, what the fourth slot should be. So like you can pay to get like an additional 5% view range, or an additional 5% on your you know, your concealment, or an additional 5% towards reload or gun dispersion or whatever. But it's just gonna be crazy. And yeah, equipment 2.0, you know, don't get me wrong. Turbochargers, I am excited. My M48 patent, I will sacrifice coated optics. I will sacrifice vertical stabilizers. one of those, more than likely coated optics for that turbocharger to be able to get into the aggressive positions and just have really good pushes. Same thing about my tier 8 Krievets. You know, jumping over to the Krievets. If you guys have ever caught me playing this tank, there's a reason why I really like my Kurt 1. You know, I've put in over 250 matches in this tank. I've 3 marked it. And looking at the engine, you know, 42 top speed, and then, you know, put a turbocharger on that, 46 top speed, 20 reverse speed, put a turbocharger on that, 22 reverse speed. It'll be almost like a medium as a tier 8 heavy. However, its gun sucks, so yeah, let's not jump into that gun. But tank destroyers would benefit a lot from, let's say, actually, no, they would not. The Grille 15, for instance, we have coated optics, binoculars, toolbox, large caliber gun rammer, and then you actually don't even get improved ventilation on this because it's an open tank. There's nothing to be put on it. Yeah, not much to go over there. They're just, you know, they're hitting a point in the game where it almost feels like every single time they do an update, they're winging it, and somehow it turns out okay. But this next one, the amount that they're removing is a lot. If they add the Abrams and everything else to the game, they're gonna have to really work on everything. If they add Abrams, I don't know if I want to play it because it's not War Thunder. I like World of Tanks because it's older tanks. You know, I don't want to play with an Abram. If I want to play with an Abram, I'll go play War Thunder. You know, I have a Leopard 1 in War Thunder. I have an M1 Abram. The XMC, whatever, like, I can't. It's a premium tier, like a 8.4 or 9.3 or 8.3, something like that. But yeah, I'd rather play War Thunder because I don't know how they would work it out on console. Because if they add, you know, modern day tanks like the Chinese and everything else, you got to think, what's the speed of every single one of those tanks? The T10 Armada has a 123 millimeter gun with a crewless turret. So it would basically be like every single tier 10, if they added modern day tanks, would be a light tank with heavy armor, really good view range, and a 120 millimeter gun. There would be no difference to any other tank in the game by that point. Yeah, they're way too small. I can't remember the top speed of what the Abram can hit, but I think it's like 90 kilometers an hour. They're pretty quick. Actually, you know what? Where's my phone? We got Google. But there is a couple of things coming next update that, you know, if they do really well on this next update, who knows, the game might flourish like no other. Well, the wheeled tanks, I don't know about that. Here, let's do this. How fast is an M1 Abram? 45 miles per hour. 45 miles per hour converted to kilometers. 72.42 kilometers per hour. So yeah, that would basically be light tanks on the field. Every single tank would be a light tank. I do believe that the German Leopard 1 is a little bit faster than the Abram, but not by much. But yeah, 45 miles an hour. That's a... I was wrong. I thought 90 kilometers an hour. So yeah. That tells you how much I look at modern day tanks. Wow, Grille 15. think I tracked you. Now, I'm kind of wondering where I got pinned in the front by that grill. But yeah, there's a couple of things that they need to be careful of. Because if they go too far, they're going to really screw up some stuff. Well, not entirely because of the way that World of Tanks is set up, but it's almost like guaranteed penetration every single time they fired. Because you got to think, M1 Abrams, their rounds can go through 10 reinforced concrete blocks. You know, like it's ridiculous. You know, and against tanks, on War Thunder, basically angling almost never matters. Your like Saybolt rounds, Saybolt rounds, I think is what they're called. They're literally just used as kinetic force, and when they penetrate, they obliterate the crew. So yeah, I get to keep them, but I don't get to play with new players in them. You know, and that's what the whole yeah, that's what I'm going to be missing out on is logging on with buddies that, you know, finally got the game, and all of a sudden it's like, you know, oh dude, you should get the you know, the M3 Stewart. It's such a great tank. And then to find out that, you know, it's not even in the game anymore. Like how I ricocheted. So, yeah, there's a couple of things that it's I'm irritated by this. As you guys can tell, I'm a little bit frustrated by it. You know, it's yeah, it's gonna suck, but who knows? They might drop them, and then they might add in, you know, like 5 or 6 more premium tanks. Speaking of which, there has been a lot of stuff that they have been giving away, so I can't really complain because they're giving away a lot of premium tanks. They're giving away a lot of stuff. Um, yeah, there's not really much to go over there. Yes, depleted uranium salvo rounds. Those things are freaking nuts. Wait, Sabo. I said Salvo. Sabo. I've seen one of those live fired before, and I'll tell you now, my ears would not stop ringing for like 2 hours after I heard it. All right, well, I had to go buy a new 2 liter today because apparently I'm going through like one a day, and I need to stop doing that. Now that I'm back to work, it should be like one every single 3 days. You know, I should be all right. Should probably go get tested for diabetes. Just kidding. My blood sugar is good. But, you know, it's going to happen. There's going to be nothing that I can do about it. The only thing I can do about it is get on and enjoy the game. Because, I mean, I'm complaining about low tier tanks that I almost never jump into. So, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. And Hernandez, I'll throw this out there. My uncle is a mechanic in the military. He's been a mechanic in the military for over 38 years. He's getting ready to retire. Whenever I was younger, around the age of 7, that was my first time ever, you know, watching an Abram drive around. And I actually got to jump inside of an Abram and ride around base inside of it. One of the coolest things I ever got to get into was I actually can't remember the name of it. I'll have to ask him. But it had a 155 howitzer, and it was a artillery. It looks like the Death Star, but it's not the Death Star. I just thought it was really cool. Another thing is if they add, all these tanks into M1 Abrams, everything else, you got to think on how fast those reloads are going to be. Those matches would almost never, like they would just be 3-minute matches, game over. So yeah. Anyways, it's gonna drop. It's gonna happen. Um, I'm I'm getting off work early. I straight up told my boss, it's like, I would like to get this time off. And she looked at me and she's all like, why would you like to get this time off? It's like, because I'm a streamer. And she just looks she laughed at me. She's all like, what are you talking about? I'm all like, I stream on a game, and this is update 6.0 that's coming out, and I would really enjoy it if I could, get off at 12 to go and start a stream at 1 and go to like 4. And she was super cool about it. She was like, totally, no problem. Don't have too much fun. So yeah, I get to get on and experience the update the day it happens. Thing is, I hope that it isn't one of those updates where it takes 2 days to apply. Like what was that? Like 5.0, I think it was. They did the update, and then the servers were down for like 2 days, or they were down from like 3 in the morning all the way until about like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm hoping it's not like that tomorrow, because you got to think this is going to be a massive update. They're removing a crap load of tier 1s and tier 2s. 300 gig download. I think I'd quit the game right then and there. That's the whole reason why I haven't played Warzone, because the game takes up 200 gigs. I'm not dedicated enough to log on the Warzone every single day to actually make that memory usage worth it. Now, I'm not exactly a super aggressive Call of Duty player to begin with. One-hour maintenance is a little scary to hear. Okay, Devin? You think, let's apply update 6.0 in 1 hour. It'll be totally fine, guys. That's a little scary to me. Can't seem to turn on the IS-7. He's got some really good power behind it. Oh, if you want to line me up like this, your top plate's no problem now. Wow, I am being pushed around by this IS-7. Yeah, my uncle, he's the one that got me super into it whenever I was younger. He doesn't exactly work on tanks. He works on the what are they called? They're used to tow Abrams. You need a tank to tow a tank. So he works on just regular facility trucks and everything else. Like, he's not exactly a tank mechanic, but he's been doing it so long that he's thought about it. But most tank mechanics are actually combat mechanics, and he's an on-base mechanic. So usually he gets the the big rigs or the fat tows, and he'll work on those. Okay, we're good. We're gonna back up now. Then again, there was a fight in the family a couple years back, and I haven't talked to him in almost, I'd say, 6 years. So yeah, one of these days I'm gonna have to just message him on Facebook or call him up and just see how he's doing. You know, I'm talking over this match, not really paying too much attention to it, and I finally just looked at my spot assist. I didn't realize I had 3,000 spot assist. Now, all right, I got that all off my chest. I'm feeling pretty good. I am totally excited about tomorrow, but um, you guys want me to stay on YouTube? I that was the only thing I saw pop up inside every single comment. Everyone was like, "Stay on YouTube. It's easier." So, more than likely, yeah, I might do like a split, or I might just stay dedicated to YouTube and occasionally do Twitch. Occasionally, but for me, YouTube's a lot easier. Now, I really don't know how I feel. Just all those memories. I'm happy I got the tanks though. So yeah, it's gonna suck. It is gonna suck. But at the same time, it's gonna be pretty cool because a lot of the maps that they're adding, I'm just hoping for some really cool maps. I don't play my threes too often. I went out and got the needle, and that was pretty cool, but I didn't really put too many matches inside that tank. So, yay. Man, I feel like negative Nancy today. If you buy them, you physically keep them inside your garage, which means that if you already own them, they will not remove them. So I went back and bought all the Americans, all the Germans, because those are the ones that I had a lot of fun in. Oh, Hernandez, I try, man. I try. There's a lot inside this game. I know a lot in this game too, but I'm not going to claim to know it all. But the amount I do know can help improve anybody, as long as they follow the little things, or positions that I use inside my maps. I don't mind showing off spots that I go to, because it can benefit you too if you go to them. Or the way that gun barrels are, thickness, yada yada yada, fun stuff, overmatching, blah 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 blah. There's a lot. For spotting mechanics, I really want to wait for the update, and then once that update drops, that's whenever I'm going to be making a video on spotting mechanics. It'll probably be like 2 matches in light tanks, going over concealment, so they got to be really good matches, and just go over it as much as I can. Each time I do a video, I always mention concealment, if the tank is really good for it. Honestly, any tank can be good on concealment, but at the same time, no, they cannot. A mouse is not going to be undetected forever. That's it's a mouse, And I can't believe that shell hit. All right. Well, I'm no. It's gonna be a fire. They're slapping all the light, all the low tiers, when they really should be screwing around with artillery. And look, I'm on fire again. Ouch. KV-122. I highly recommend to get this tank. I got set on fire twice. Go get it. It's fun. Damn, look at that gas tank. There's 2 of them in the front. And then the engine block in the back. Oh, KV 122. And keep in mind, this is the deal of the week. I think it's on right now. I want to check. Nope, it'll be tomorrow. It's got to be tomorrow. Season tier 100 tank. A tier 100 tank would look like a Death Star. And I'm not talking about the in-game Death Star. I mean the Planet Destroyer. But no, I get where you're coming from. Yeah, you know, there's been a lot of talk that, you know what, I'm just going to do this with you guys. Here we go. I'm just going to drag you with me again. You know, this is not exactly a planned stream. I got on because I was like, light tanks. Tier 3 is going bye-bye. Are you kidding me? What? Alright, so over in the Russia tab, if there's anything that I would love to see get added to the game, and this is just my personal opinion for something I would love to see, Object 703-100, 703 version 2. Look at that thing. So from the front, really good armor. Lower plate, you know, 200 millimeters. Going to be pretty good against 7s and 6s. Side armor, we're looking at 100 millimeters, so it's going to play like the Krievets for me. The top plate actual effective armor is 140 millimeters thick, so it's going to play just like the Krievets. Yeah, the double-barreled tanks. I don't know about you guys, but this is what I'm stoked for. But I honestly don't think they're going to be adding that. The number one tank that has been going through my head that we're going to be seeing next is actually going to be the Borask. And this is a double shot French medium. It is a 105, I believe. It's a 105. Yeah, caliber 105 millimeter. So, it's got no armor, but it does get a double shot. And 360, 360, 720 potential clip damage after a 20-second reload, 190 base penetration. And then the premium rounds get a penetration of 240. So, yeah, this is honestly what I think might come out as the tier 100 reward, or maybe even the buy it and, you know, get the ultimate season pass with the extra 25 levels. So yeah, there's only a couple that, you know, that I can think of that they would add, because they already added the VK right here, this big beast, you know, this big beast that I always get shot by artillery with AP rounds. It's a good tank, though. If you don't have the, what is it? Don't have, what do they call it again? Yeah, it just, the VK7501K, problem solved. We'll just call it that. The actual official name, not the one they gave it inside, you know, console. Chrysler KGF. Oh, this is just a different version of this tank. Oh, that's the wrong model. Yeah, see, this one got a gas tank. But I honestly believe the Borask will be one of the next tanks we see. Double-barreled Russian tanks. I would really like to see Russian double-barrel tanks, because that's another thing I'm waiting for. You know, patiently waiting for. Icebreaker. Hernandez, you got it right on dot. So for the ultimate over here on console, it was actually the TS5 was the one that they offered up. The Bone Shaker. Which is, yes, a good tank. I just don't like the metallic. It is crazy bright. If they add the EBRs to console, they are going to be seriously debuffed, and I don't think anyone's going to really want to grind them out. You know, you'll get a couple of guys who are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to go get my hands on that. It should be good. But honestly, in my personal opinion, I do not think they are going to be that strong. I really do believe they are going to get slapped so hard when coming to console that it's not even going to be funny. So, one of the biggest things that we've been talking about with my friends that I play with on this game is if they add EBRs, we're expecting them to only have 340 meters of view range, and then not even having close to the concealment of, you know, the Sheridan. So you might be looking at like a 0.27 or like a 0.25 on its concealment. But then they're fast. Oh, no, Lance. I have the 22 inside my garage now. So, April 1st coming up, you know, we'll definitely do a T22. All right. Enough talk about all the, you know, crap that they're doing, and then let's just jump into some gameplay. Kick back and, you know, enjoy this wonderful Monday, which was supposed to be Monday Madness, but instead of Monday Madness, it's Monday Irritation. This week I wasn't really going to do a Monday Madness just because of, you know, the maps and everything else. I kind of want to wait to get the next maps put on before I jump into it. Oh, look, that's a 3 marked M451. That's quite some time put inside that. I actually think that'd be a pretty easy tank to mark, because not a lot of people grind out that line since Andre the Giant came out. I had something, and I don't know what happened. Oh, it's on the floor. Got it. So yeah, guys, tomorrow, I would say 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, I should be up and running. If not, it'll be 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, and that will just be me trying to get a good match put inside of the newer tank, and then do a review on that, and then once it's uploaded and everything's good to go, then I will, you know, be on a stream. Yeah, it's been that way now for a month. You know, so they've been irritating players with all these small maps inside of it. I mean, don't get me wrong, some people don't mind it. I'm one of those ones that didn't mind it at first. And then you know how it is. You start talking about it, then you start realizing it, and then you start getting irritated by it. Which, really, you shouldn't. You know, proper Avka in rotation as long as it has been was pretty cool, but it almost felt like I never saw it. Then you got Melanovka Winter, which honestly, that map can go die in a hole. I hate that map. Melanovka Winter, I don't like all the ice. You know, it took away the hill fight. Scouts are not as effective on it as they should be. There's just a lot of things that could be done with the Melanovka Winter. Like, for instance, we were talking about making it to where if you shoot the ice with high explosives, you should they should sink, preventing people from wanting to rush that. That would be pretty cool. But then again, that would take a lot of work and a lot of programming to be able to put that into the game and, you know, make it work out the way that people would want it to work out. Paris from PC would be cool. I can't remember the other map that I saw, like, what is it? There's honestly, a lot of the PC maps, compared to the console maps, looking at them, you see the difference and the positions inside it, and you're just like, wow. You know, then you jump back in console, and then you're just a little bit jealous of what PC got. Like, don't get me wrong, I was jealous to see some of the map layouts that they have on PC. And then playing PC myself, you know, I didn't put a whole crap ton of matches into it, but this is like recent that I played PC. You know, like probably a good month and a half ago, I put like 80 matches in. And to be honest, it was gorgeous. You know, don't even need to have really good graphics to play it. You know, and the game's not even graphically demanding. It surprised me. I can run it no problem at high for like 16 hours a day if I wanted to on my computer. And I mean, my computer's pretty nice. You know, 1660 Super, graphics card, some other stuff. Like primarily, this is just a computer built specifically for streaming. And it can play games if it wants to. But it's built for recording and streaming and editing. And that is literally the only purpose this thing serves. Other than that, it's a hardcore gaming computer that I turned into a streaming device. So, yeah, that's how that is. Worth every penny, though. You know, I can actually continue schooling on my computer, so it's nice. The Xbox One X can handle the graphical load from PC. Mass Effect Andromeda would be the best comparison. Alright, Mass Effect Andromeda, the way that that game was put together, the graphics and everything else, it maxed out the graphics cards on the Xbox. And then swapping over to PC and looking at, you know, Andromeda compared to World of Tanks only uses 20% compared to what Andromeda used. So yeah, the regular Xbox One X could easily process and handle World of Tanks PC. But the new Series X, it could overhandle it. It could literally, you could probably do like ultra settings, which there is no ultra settings in World of Tanks. It's just low, medium, high. Like the most simplest thing ever. Low, medium, high. Problem solved. Like, I think that we're actually playing on medium graphics compared to what we see on PC. Oh, yep, let's move that. Like, I literally came down and I grabbed pizza. So, Xbox fridge. Come buy your super fridge. It freezes food 10 times faster. Oh wait, 10% faster. There you go. Not 10 times. Oh yeah, with prop destruction, that was one of the biggest things about console. We've had the same destruction mechanics from the 360. You know, they could easily update those to be better. Because you got to think, Battlefield, you know, buildings just being destroyed, falling apart. They would have no problem getting the Xbox to handle that. And you got to think, Battlefield, that's like 64 players versus 64 players, or 32 versus 32. Way more than what we see here on World of Tanks with our 15 versus 15. Like, they have everything they need to do it. And don't get me wrong, I think that would be pretty cool. Things to be looking forward to. I am stoked about it. You know, ranked gameplay, everything else. I might stream quite a bit. And then while streaming, I've been trying to learn how to use the double OBS to close out my mic and record matches. But I've been struggling with it. That version of OBS likes to crash quite a bit. Just because it's not meant to be used that way. Oh. Affirmative on that great shot. That was, wow. Yeah, Battlefield 4 was tight, you know. I was one of the people running the M4 shotgun. So, yeah, I was, you know, one of those nice guys that you always wanted to run into inside subways. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I'm getting lost. And I hit his tracks. Oh, hello, Fosh. Oh, hello, Batchat. I'm so confused. Did he come around the corner and snapshot? I have no clue what he's doing. I think he just gave up. For whatever reason. Crew bodies, they don't have that on PC. I don't think they should include it because that would just be a lot of rendering. And I mean, blowing up like that, they'd have to make it rated M rather than T. And I much prefer rated T. Oh, before they needed it, before they nerfed it. I was one of the guys that was running around at the Sega 12 with explosive ammo. I was such a nice guy. That's horrible, Lance. But yeah, you know, it's not Twisted Metal. You know, it's World of Tanks. And rated T is the way it needs to be. I don't know how that shot missed. Artillery's behind us. We might die by him. Yep. Splash. Well, you know, tomorrow's going to be a big day. And I mean a big day. There's a lot that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of changes. And, you know, I'm going to log in and be like, holy crap, this is going to be confusing. So, to start off the stream, we're literally going to start from the dashboard. I'm not even going to load in the game until I start streaming. So, I'll wait for a couple of you guys to tune in before I decide to, you know, load in all the way. That way you guys can get the same reaction that I got, unless you've already played the game that, you know, tomorrow. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to go over. Other than it's going to suck to see tier 3s and 2s and 1s go. And, yeah, it's honestly, it's got to be my, you know, entry level years of the game that I just enjoyed those tanks so much. And it just sucks to see that, you know, people aren't going to be able to, you know, use them. So, and now Blade's on here watching. And, yeah. Well, other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow, so don't have too much fun. I'm going to go give Blade some crap now, since he's here, bugging me. So, yeah, more than likely, though, I am expecting to be seeing the, Baruska, that tier 8 French double shot, comparable to the LPC, which is the Stone Cold. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. A little bit of a pain too. Other than that, see you guys tomorrow. Don't have too much fun. And Hermendez, you're not the only one that's gonna be missing most of it at work. So, I'm going to be at work for quite some time. Other than that, I got nothing. Till tomorrow. Let's go see what they drop. I really want to see a double-barreled. If there's wheeled vehicles, it's going to be a pain in the butt. So, yeah. That's going to suck. The new maps. I'm excited to see all the new maps. So, for the amount of time that they've been out of the game, Melanovka especially, I shouldn't be able to see in front of my face whenever I load in those games. So, no clue. Absolutely no clue. You guys don't have too much fun. I'm out of here.